Arr! Ye be missing accessories and it is festival time. Okay, but seriously, I am a fool for Renaissance theme. So, Renaissance festivals, pirate festivals, medieval times. Pretty much anywhere I can put on a Renaissance costume and not look out of place, I will do it. This week, I wanted to make some accessories to go with our Renaissance costumes. We are planning on going to the Renaissance Festival / Renaissance Fair, whichever you would like to call it locally. And I decided that I wanted some new additions to our costumes. I saw somebody on Reddit was making this stuffed dragon toy, and I was like, that would be amazing for putting on our costumes. Do it. So in this video, I am sharing what patterns I used and what I did to make a couple of my accessories. Dragons that I made that are magnetic, so they sat on our shoulders, and a couple of leather accessories. So I will share that and we will get to it. So I am making dragons to put on our costumes. They will have magnets in the bellies so that we can stick them to our costumes and they will cling on and we can put them wherever we want. In addition to that, we need some pouches for our phones / wallet / whatever we want to stick in them. So I'll probably be making some of these. I'm not sure how much material I can find. I have not gone shopping yet for these, but we shall see what I am able to get done. I have 1 week until we are going to the festival, so let's see what I get to do. To make the dragons, I used Simplicity Pattern 8715. I chose to make the belly from a terry cloth that I had on hand, and the bodies for both dragons were made from some dragon-like polyester that I found at Joann's. Stitching was done with a straight stitch, and then we chose the eyes and I just popped those right on. I did forget to film how I added the magnets to the dragons. I just hand stitched a piece of fabric that matched the belly over one of the magnets, and then used a second magnet to place inside our outfit just to make it stay. And for those magnets, I used neodymium disc magnets. They're ultra strong magnets so that we wouldn't lose our dragons during our festival going. So here are my pretty dragons all made. My husband requested that the magnet be closer to the front feet because he wanted the dragon to hang down more towards his back, and I have mine more on the belly, almost between the back feet, because I wanted mine to hang over my shoulder. So I'll show you these attached. There's that little guy. And there's my little guy. So they came out really well. I really like them. On the green one, I wish I had stuffed the neck a little bit more because his head kind of flops. But the blue one came out quite lovely. And that's that for those. We wore them around the entire day at the festival, and the only time we had one of them fall off was mine because I had an itch under my strap, so kind of knocked it off. But that's the only time it fell off. They stayed on the rest of the day with no problems. To make all of the straps, I cut a simple 1.5 inch wide piece of leather and I measured it how long I wanted it to be. This one I actually made a mistake and I cut it too short, so I stuck 2 together and riveted so that it wouldn't come apart, and then I used snaps. This is for strapping a mug on, or a stein, or really any handled drink, but the strap just snaps and it hangs on the belt, so you can carry your mug around without having to carry it. I also made 2 skirt hikes. These I did by hand. They were not on my pattern, but essentially you put them on the belt and you loop your skirt through, pull it back through the other one, and your skirt is hiked without having to worry about it coming untucked. And these held all day. I have a long one and a short one because I wasn't sure if I wanted both lengths or if I just wanted one length. So I made both, and I'm glad I did because I put one on each side and it kept my skirt hiked on both sides. So it kept my legs free. So that worked really well. But it's just 1.5 inches wide strip of leather, and then riveted and snapped if I want snaps on it. It actually is doubled though. So I cut 2 strips and glued them together so that it would have the thickness to be sturdy without breaking. I don't think it would actually break if it was a single strap, but I intend to reuse these for several years because I go pretty much every year somewhere, or I've gone to medieval times this year, and I went to another medieval themed restaurant also. So I will find uses for these and they will get reused, and it's not a waste of money for me or time. But that is how I made these. I think the long skirt hike, I cut 21 inches of length, and for the short one, I believe it was 11 inches long. The mug holders, I believe those were 20 inches once I figured out how long I wanted it to be. It was either 21 or 22 inches for the mug strap so that you could have the loop at the top and the loop on the bottom. But those I crafted by just using my brain and a X-Acto knife. The other things I made are these pouches, which I made these for our wallets and phones, which fit well in here. All of these leather pieces were made from one piece of leather. Both of these, I used the template or the pattern from this Butterick pattern that has pouches. I'll put it here on the screen. But I just cut out the pieces for the bag and the piece for the, oh gosh, I can't remember what this was called. 1 inch wide and like 1 inch long or something like that. It's very small. And then there are 2 pieces for the straps on the back that are 1.5 inches wide, and I don't remember how long for these, but I just cut out those few pieces and the side piece. I didn't worry about the lining because I knew that I didn't want to mess with it, so I didn't. I did do them 2 different ways. This one is turned in, so all my stitches are on the inside. And then I turned it out, and so my seam is nice and smooth on the outside. The other bag, I decided that I wanted it to look a little different, so I put the stitches on the outside. So I just put the 2 pieces of leather together and sewed them. I glued around it first to hold it in place. Then I stitched them, and I put rivets in to keep them from pulling apart at the more delicate areas. I used buttons that are, there's a spike on one side, and you just kind of hammer it down and it locks it into place. I did rivet them with a simple rivet kit, and that's really all I did. It was very easy. Oh, and I did use mink oil to condition these. You can buy leather conditioner that's different, but I already had mink oil because I bought it for some historical shoes that I have, and I used what I had. But you can get leather conditioner for cheaper. You can get leather waterproofer if you're worried about the leather becoming stained. But yeah, I just conditioned them, so the final product ended up darker than the original piece of leather. It was really simple, actually. It only took me a couple of days to do all of the accessories, and I was able to have them done in plenty of time to go to the festival. The dragons, I did both of them in one day. I just cut all the pieces at once, stuffed them at once, and then I didn't have to go back and forth on the steps. I just did all the steps consecutively. I'm also going to say that if you are one who likes to dress up for the festival, but you don't have a lot of money, the leather accessories I made are very simple to make. They're easy to learn how to do. I did not line these bags. I just left them as the leather. I saved a lot of money by doing these myself at Fabrics, which is a fabric store down in the city that upcycles fabric. They had big pieces of leather, so I was able to go and get one piece of leather. I think I spent $24.50 on the one piece, and I was able to cut all of my pieces from the one piece for both skirt hikes, both mug holders, and both bags. Simple bags like these with no design on them are $50 at the festival here. I would have spent $100 just on the two bags. Skirt hikes, I think I saw them for $15 or $20. I don't remember for sure, but simple stein holders or mug holders, just a strap with buttons or a hook or snap or whatever, these were $20. So all in all, I spent $25 on the fabric or on the leather, and I spent 2 days working on them myself, but I would have spent well over $100, probably closer to $200, just for these few accessories. So if you don't have a lot of money, but you want to go enjoy the festival dressed up, I suggest trying to craft. It doesn't hurt to learn new things, and it's a great hobby. That being said, I did buy a couple of things at the festival. I love thigh-high socks, and I got these. I think they are adorable. I also got this necklace. The necklace was $50, the socks were $12. So those are the only two things I bought for myself. We spent money on food and drinks, and it accumulates really fast. So I prefer to make as much of my costume as I can. I will buy specific things from artisans who make them. I don't know if the artisan that I bought these from actually makes these socks. They were not a wool craft artisan or anything like that, or a fiber craft. It was from a knife shop. But I have trouble finding knee-high socks or thigh-high socks, and I just really wanted them, and so I bought them. And they was only $12, so I didn't mind spending, even if it was a little extra. So that is what I made, and we had a wonderful time. So I will just add a couple of pictures that we took while we were there, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I just want to say about this little ducky, someone gave it to me as part of trinket trading. If it was you, thank you so much. I had never heard of trinket trading before this year, and I've been going for decades. I'm sorry that I didn't have one to give you in exchange.